everyone, my name is Morris Akpebe, and first of all, I'm a computer engineering graduate, and not just that, I'm also a digital marketing and an AI strategist. And apart from that, I'm also building an edtech slash a career guidance platform called Study Booster, which by God's grace we got into the Tony Lumelu Entrepreneurship Foundation. And finally, I also run a non-profit initiative called the Digital Spark Project. So if I was actually starting back building a business as an undergraduate, the first thing I'm actually going to be intentional about is my mindset, because a lot of us, probably because of the background we are from, we have a wrong perspective about life. We have the wrong perspective about building business. So basically, mindset re-engineering. I will study books about growing your mindset, about wealth, about money, about business. Then the next thing I'm actually going to be very intentional about is learning and mastering a particular skill. Now, emphasis on the word master. You know, a lot of people will just say, you go and learn a skill, go and learn a skill. So today you're learning copywriting, tomorrow you are learning graphics design, next tomorrow you are into another one, and you are literally not a master of anything. And one thing I've actually learned over the years is the fact that the people who are going to pay you the bulk of the money that you actually want, they are looking for masters. So the second thing rather, would be to intentionally learn a particular skill and master that skill. Then the next thing I'm actually going to be very intentional about doing is gathering proofs. So I will go probably even working for some people for free just to gather the proofs, get the work, get the client testimonials and all of that. It's very important. Then finally, I will intentionally go out, pitch my services, pitch my businesses to the people who actually need them and the people who can actually pay good money for, people who will be coming to price me as though we're selling crayfish. So intentionally mastering that skill and intentionally going out to ensure that the right people see what I'm doing and become aware of my product, basically. So talking about networking, like basically my principle about life generally, everything starts with the mindset. So networking is still going to start with your mindset. And if you don't have the right mindset about how people view other people, you actually always be scared to network with people. And the first thing that really changed it all for me was understanding that anybody is reachable. So there was a time when I could not even walk up to people. But another time I just remember that, bro, you are actually created in the image of God. So if I can actually talk to God in my prayers, that means I can literally talk to anybody. So that simple shift in my mindset just made me open to when I see people, I'll just like, okay, this is just another human being. So this is not like God. This is not like a spirit being. This is just another human being, and I can just walk up to that person. So having that critical mindset shift from seeing people as just influencers to knowing that this person is the human being. This person actually has a child at home. This person has a sibling. So if their sibling can talk to them, then I can also talk to them too. Then apart from just having that mindset shift, you must also understand that people do not just want to connect with just anybody, but they want to connect with someone who can also add value to their life. So you want to be that person that is coming to intentionally add value to somebody else, to someone's life. So you're not just coming as someone who is parasitic. You are coming as someone who has value to offer, and that's why you need to be intentional about your skill development and all of that. The next point will be your community. As a student, there are communities around you, JCI, there are even people who organize events. Intentionally join those communities, volunteer for them, and be active. Don't just volunteer and stay by the side. Volunteer and actively participate. And with that, you would start going out for events, you start meeting people, and the first time you might actually suck at it. The second time, you might even be still shy, but the more you consistently do, the more you consistently meet people, you will know that, oh, this thing is actually easy and anybody is reachable. Okay, so talking about clarity and purpose, there's this Japanese concept called Ikigai. I'm very sure you must have heard about it, but even before I discovered Ikigai, back then in my secondary school, I loved computers. So I was not even in a school where there were a lot of computers, but the first time I saw computers, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this thing. And I would love to be someone who worked with computers. And that was what even made me choose computer engineering. But when I got into school, I also discovered another passion, which was I actually wanted to be a billionaire. So I wanted money. So in my search for, okay, how can I make money? How can I become financially free? I noticed that you have to learn marketing. You need to learn how to sell. And that was how I started learning about digital marketing. And eventually I was like, okay, I'm really passionate about helping people discovering their life and helping people really becoming the best out of their life. And that was also made me to be like, okay, let me try non-profit, and that's even what we're doing at the Digital Spark project. So that Ikigai concept, you can go and read about it. Basically, you want to understand, what am I passionate about? What do I really like doing? Not just what do I just like doing, but what do I like doing that people also will also want to pay for? Are people interested in? So if you are just trying to say, oh, I love this thing, but nobody is willing to pay for it, I would advise to go just check on that passion. But basically, studying that Ikigai concept really gave me much more clarity on knowing that, okay, I'm actually going to focus on this tech part, and I'm also going to be learning marketing, because on the long run, if I want to become a billionaire, I need to learn how to sell. I need to learn how to market. Daily or weekly habits that really made me focus, first of all, is writing your goals down, writing your vision. So by God's grace, for me personally, I know in the next 10 years, I really know the kind of things I really want to be doing. Like in the next 2 years, I have targets for my own personal life. So when you have that vision, you have that goal well written down, not just saying it in your head. I have it written down in one of my particular book, and every morning, almost every morning, sometimes I do skip it, but almost every time when I'm feeling probably discouraged, like, is this the right path? I just go back to that book and I'm like, okay, these are the goals. But apart from just writing those goals down, you want to write down why achieving those goals. Why is it important? So personally, I have siblings. I have my parents that I really want them to experience life, like to have the best life. So whenever I'm going through those goals and I'm saying, okay, this is why I need to achieve this thing, I feel motivated to stay focused on that part. And of course, I listen to a lot of messages. I listen to people like Miles Monroe. I study just a lot of them. Like if you should go to my YouTube playlist, you see a lot of messages that I've been listening to. So whenever I'm feeling discouraged, I go back to those messages. People like Napoleon Hill. I read books like Think and Grow Rich, Millionaire Mindset. All of those things, they're just helping me to show me that the vision I have is possible and people have achieved them. So of course, and another thing too is your community. Do you have circle of friends that are also intentional? Because just as I said, no man is an island. So you don't just want to be building alone. You don't just want to say, oh, I have this vision, I have this goal, or I have this purpose. But finding people who are also in line with that same purpose will also ginger you to kind of, whenever you feel demoralized, to feel like, okay, this person is still doing well, I can also still do well with my own. Final notes that would be very helpful to students. First of all, time management is very, very, very key. See, you don't need to be active in every activity that is happening around you. You just need to understand your goals, first of all. If this activity is not really adding to that goal, I think you should cut it off. So wherever level you are right now, just be so intentional about your time, because one thing I've learned is the fact that time is something you can never recover. You can always make money back, but once the time is gone, it's gone. Something else that is very important is never look down on anyone, because when you are in school, you feel like you are the scholar of the class or you are the best in the organization. But bro, by the time you leave that school environment, the speed that some people you actually felt they are not very valuable would just move out in life would actually surprise you. So always value everybody. The opportunity you have to meet anybody, give them that value, give them that respect. It's very, very important. And I think a lot of students actually do not understand this until they leave campus. So don't just think life is not about just the university. Life is not about the polytechnic you are or the higher institution you are, but life is far much more beyond that. So whenever you have any opportunity to meet anybody, whether you think the person is above you or below you, always value those people at those certain points. Don't be scared of shooting your shots. Like, you want to apply for a scholarship, you want to apply for an internship, you want to apply for a job. See, just don't be scared, because you don't even know the one that really open up for you. Like personally, there was an offer I applied for. At first, when I wanted to apply for the offer, I was like, God, are these people going to accept me? Am I qualified enough? But guess what? Eventually, I scaled through all the interviews. I got the offer. But if I was scared and I was like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, and probably I didn't apply, I wouldn't have even gotten those opportunities. So please, as a student, when you see that opportunity, apply for it, and don't just apply vaguely, intentionally apply. If you don't have the results yet, keep on building so that you can gather all of those portfolios that you need to apply and actually get an edge or an advantage when applying. And that's why we have a community called the Study Booster Community. So we have over 1,000 students from across 20 universities in Nigeria, and even some people who are graduates already. So if you're looking for where you can get updates on scholarship, internship, or even if you lack clarity on the path to take We even have a platform where you can put in your interest and it will give you career paths that you can actually take, and it's incredible. So if you want all of these opportunities delivered to you free of charge, simply join the community. The link will be somewhere around this video or in the description. Just join us and you would actually be glad that you actually did that. Thank you.